根火滚，中央人民政府今天胜利了。
但是你们难道
刚才也问我啊，我可以回半点去，无可奉告，我也不高兴。
哎，什么叫中国共产党啊？党叫干啥就干啥。
黑夜即将到，一定要做好准备。
干死共产党！干死共产党！不干死共产党，绝不罢休！
消灭中共是正义的需要。
Hello, everyone. Hello, Chris and Flower and our global friends and global fighters. Welcome to our program. We're going to continue explore the CCP. And Chris, please say hello to everyone.
And hi everyone, and hi Mr. 007, and yeah, I'm happy to be on the show again tonight. Thank you.
Great. Okay. So the United States has experienced the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, and the Korean War, and now we have a unrestricted warfare through the CCP's influence into Iran, and also the domestic political situation of the extremely leftist, so-called the leftist socialism and the communism. So it looks very complex. So what we're going to go through tonight is to try to draw some lines, some phenomena to see how the AI chips, drones combined with the globalization method for this warfare, which has changed the world. So I will get Chris come to share your thought, please. Chris.
You mean?
Let's play the first video first.
我深信川普总统会更加的会出冷手啊，会出快手灭共。大家不信走着看，大家一定要记住这个问题。接下来川普总统一定会在这个灭共的问题上，一定会有大行动啊。像我伴着可爱的你，看着我看。
On the eve of this 250th anniversary of American heritage, we resolve and swear for all to hear that the citizens of the United States of America will vanquish communism quickly. Don't let them take too much of your time. You know they're wasting your time, don't you? But we're not going to let them take too long or too much of our time as they play their games and send them into exile. We will send them quickly away, and we will continue to build our country bigger and better and stronger than ever before. America will never be a communist country. If we terminate the filibuster, as we should do, and immediately vote for the Save America Act, the Communist Party is made up of illegal immigrants, criminals, and everybody that doesn't want to work. Communism is a loser. It always was, and it is right now. It's a big loser. Look at the people that are promoting it. They are not the people you're going to follow. In 250 years, the free people of this land have accomplished more with our liberty than any other society has accomplished, even in thousands and thousands of years. As you look back and you study, what our critics will never understand is that America is not the sum of its mistakes. Our mistakes make us human. Our achievements make us American, and nobody has ever had the achievements that we've had. We are the nation that dreamed and created the modern world. We won 2 world wars, Cold War, left America's enemies in the depths of history. We beat Venezuela in one day, and we knocked the hell out of Iran. They're dying to settle. They want to settle so badly. We gave them a week off for a funeral because we're nice. 2 years ago, we were laughed at, mocked, and a nation in decline. We were in very serious decline. Last administration, what they've done to us, we can never, ever forget that. And today, we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. Everybody respects us like no nation. Remember this, we're respected like no nation in the world is respected like us. Every king, every prime minister, every president, they respect us more than any other country by far. 2 years ago, they laughed at us. Now it's only respect. And I want to tell you, the best is yet to come. After 250 years, American freedom still rings. The American dream still lives, and the American flag still flies more proudly than ever before over the people who will not quit, the nation that will not fail, the country that will not fall. No matter how hard the enemy tries, we cannot be beaten.
Yeah, it's a speech Mr. President Trump have given to the United States people. It's a very it's a abstract summary of how this World War One until now in Iran. So I would ask Chris, would you give us your intake, please?
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. 007. So the United States has experienced the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, World War I, World War II. The method of warfare have changed. America's greatest enemy at present is communism, that is the Chinese Communist Party. The appearance of Mr. Miles Guo exposed the CCP's infiltration of the entire world, including the blue, gold, yellow plan, the 3F plan, and the 13579 plan, as well as the origin of the CCP virus and the poisoned vaccines. The CCP's theft of the US election, its manipulation of the US presidential election, its manipulation of the US Congress, the weaponized Department of Justice, the weaponized of HHS, the weaponized mainstream media, and the weaponized online social platform. All these crimes of the CCP have been connected together through Mr. Miles Guo's revelations, and they also prove the harm that the CCP has caused to the United States and to the entire world. The biggest news focus this week, hearing that Fauci is about to attend. Before the hearing, Fauci's diary was released. The diary records thoughts that differ from what Fauci said publicly, as well as fact that Fauci still dares not openly admit. In January 2020, Fauci already privately believed that the Huanan seafood market was not the source, but only the amplifier. And in December 2020, Fauci publicly received his first dose of the 19 vaccines and even held a press conference at the time. On June 19, 2021, about 5 to 6 months after his vaccinations, Fauci wrote that discovered through a CT scan a pulmonary infarct in the lowest segment of his right lung, and he explicitly wrote that it was definite. However, Fauci himself actually mentioned these pulmonary infections. Those who understand know that this is vaccine injury. Fauci privately wrote that the virus case fatality rates was more like 0.2 to 0.3% rather than 2.0%, and believed that because the actual number of infections was far higher than the reported figures, the transmissibility of the virus was more like that of a severe influenza. In contrast, when he testified before Congress in March 2020, he stated that the mortality rate was about 2 to 3%. This proves that Fauci lied in the previous hearing. The diary also shows that Fauci actively intervened and persuaded local officials to close schools and businesses. Contrast with his later public denial that he had nothing to do with closing the schools. Mr. Miles Guo once said that the truth about the virus would be the sharp sword that pierces the CCP. The CCP, through releasing the virus and in coordination with mainstream media and online social platforms, as well as traders within HHS who sold out America, exaggerated and amplified the death caused by the virus to instill fear in the public. Through fear, the public's movement was restricted. Then, by using mail-in ballots and Dominion, they achieved the theft of the US presidential elections and also influenced the elections for the US Congress. They further used poisoned vaccines, poison American and people around the world in order to achieve the goal of control. They also used the weaponized Department of Justice to attack Mr. Miles Guo and other people who spoke the truth. When all this evidence is connected together, it can prove that the CCP is a terrorist organization and the real culprit. It also echoes the content of President Trump's speech. When the conditions are all in place, the process of take down the CCP will unfold rapidly. The midterm elections will be a very important time point. When a sufficient number of righteous members of Congress are elected, the US President, together with the US Congress, will be able to rapidly advance take down CCP legislations. Using the evidence of Mr. Miles Guo's prosecutions, they will clear Mr. Miles Guo's name and also purge the traitors who sold out America and take down the CCP. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. That's very clear. So the Miles Guo is using his life, okay, in jail for over 3 years now. And then with the weaponized DOJ, which has prosecuted him and also didn't allow him to do much his own presentations to prove what the reality, what the facts, or the allegations, false allegations about him. Instead, they continue to suppress Miles Guo because he actually is the first whistleblower which blow out the Wuhan virus, the bats, but rather it's from the Wuhan P4 lab, which, okay, clothed with Peter Daszak and directed by Fauci, with the money and also with the gain of function research technologies, which helped the CCP to create the biological weapon, so-called the CCP virus or the Wuhan virus or the COVID-19 virus, whatever you name it. And so he has directly initiated, okay, this process with technology and money. Therefore, the CCP can do the gain of function research and create those biological weapons which harm the whole entire world. That's in one story about the 1/9 of the effect, and the picture we must get already. We've been studying that almost every day, and the truth. And we also said the Fauci lied, so American died. It seems to me it's proven that he's knowingly it's gonna create a human pandemic disaster, but of course, okay. So definitely he didn't, was negligent, was probably proven intentionally. So I think that depends on how the case is going against Fauci. If Americans don't sort that out, then nothing stop this happen again. Okay, it might be not the COVID-19 virus, or it could be COVID, you name it. Okay, so I think we have learned the lesson from it, and they are people who in the world institutions, and they want to confront. That's one observation which they have achieved very well with the death rate 2 to 3%. Then the other thing is about the Miles Guo being a whistleblower, and because he blow out the truth, and the CCP, of course, they don't want to cover up with the narratives of 07 bad stories of where the virus origin come from, which we know is not true because they are internal inside the CCP's system. The high-level scientists, officials, have, in the first instance, blow out the information to Moscow. We remember about that. Okay, so as soon as I remember it was the Chinese New Year Eve. That's where all the planned flight of Wuhan and then flight to New York, Los Angeles, okay, London. And then 2 or 3 days later, we see so many people are dying suddenly from those, breathing, lung-related issues like a severe cold, cough. Then people sort of died suddenly on the sports field, in the train stations, and so on. So what we have seen is the impact on mile score is really so much devastating. I think for someone who's been locked down in the CCP's jail for a little bit over 2 years and 2 months in the Qinfeng detention center of the CCPs, and that was only over a little bit 2 years. Now it's over 3 years. So that's in America. So we never, with a whistleblower, New Federal State of China whistleblower member, we never thought the U.S. deep state and the devils can be so so united with the CCP together with the BGY, okay, and then together influence with money and the power influence the CCP are trying to silence our voices. This is basically the we've been all experiencing so far. So as you mentioned, Chris, we do believe that finally justice will be served. Okay, let's with the opening of this Fuji's stuff. Okay, and then let's hope that if Americans start to sort out the influence of Chinese communism, and also with the stolen election 2020, this is a lockdown, shutdown, and then that's what they use the Dominion machine as well. So we must not underestimate the evil of the CCP. And then we must, since with the good things, since American Congress has announced that the CCP communism is the #1 enemy for United States. So let's help United States to spread the truth and then take down the domestic communism, so therefore American people can be also liberated from the potential threat of a stolen election again. Let's hope this is the case. So Chris, we've still got a few minutes. Are you having some comments to make, please? About especially about the or say about what exactly mouse score, why mouse score fights so hard, and and is that for liberating Chinese people or liberating the American people from the corruption and for communism influences? What's your thought?
I think because it's in the world right now, it's hard to find someone like him who has the experience in China and who has been fighting and infiltrating CCP for such a long time, and he has the intelligence, and also he has the money and ability without he being bought by the CCP. Because normal people, it's very easy to be taken down by the CCP, by the BGY plan. Yeah, but Mr. Mousegor can stand that, and also in the Western country, people in the Western country, they don't understand CCP deeply, but Mr. Mousegor understands CCP. So Mr. Mousegor can provide the intelligence and how to counterattack CCP strategy. and work with the American people.
Mm.
And we know that under CCP's rule, Chinese people suffers, but the rest of the people in the world also suffers. So, Mr. Miles Guo helping the Western and make Western people and Chinese people work together to take down the CCP is good for both sides. Yeah, yeah. That's why I think that's why he can do this, and that's why he used himself as a bait.
Yep.
Put himself into the law,
Yep.
unrestricted to show the Western people like who the American traitor is and how deeply the CCP infiltrate the American. Yeah. So I think after the midterm elections end, whether win or lost, like the United States will accelerate taking down the CCP. Because if we don't take down the CCP, the American don't take down the CCP, the world will be taken down by the CCP. So it's a must do job. So yeah, that's how I think.
Yeah. Yes. That's the logic. Absolutely. That's what CCP is planned for. You see, it's very clear. First of all, CCP create the virus. Okay, the virus. Then they create the fear. The death amplified to create the fear. Okay, remember when New York City, the cameras every day bloating out. There's so many bodies dead from the hospital come down to the street. And then the body, just too many bodies, they have to lie up each other and drive into almost like a dumping wild places. So and then the movement restricted. So you remember we have to wear masks, so we get the CP some kind of test to say whether you are infected or not. Later proving it's a hoax. Okay. And then I think the person win the Nobel Prize invent that said the sensitivity adjustment is too high. It's not going to be really accurate at all. But then later on, I found he's dead. I think it's a French scientist. So the movements, we all been locked down, and the people, truck drivers, have to protest on the street to to be able to drive across the board. States of like in New Zealand, Australia, Canada, I remember, and then they found out when they drive, then the credit card doesn't work to put the fuel in the trucks. These are the memories we're seeing on the television, and then come to the elections. Okay, so then you have to do. It look like you have to do mail voting instead of physically go there to vote. And then there's a Dominion machine as well from Majolo test out. They said they definitely interfered with the counting as well. So, and then we have the weaponized DOJ and trying to and suppress the truth, especially the whistleblower Miles Guo. This is very unfortunately. But I think I believe that we've got to keep fighting until the justice is served. I can see that although I'm a lawyer, but I can see Miles Guo haven't presented the evidence yet. Why? Because simply you can see in the rulings of the 28th of June in the New York District Court, Southern District Court of DOJ. Basically, they have ignored the Miles Guo's lawyers' submission in some critical evidences and just say that no, we're gonna just based on the jury before, and then just make a judgment about it. That to me is a procedural injustice. So all this we never expected from a Statue of Liberty country where we really look up to. And so I think the DOJ definitely out internally find out who are those guys who colluded with the CCP. Unless we're doing that, I don't think America will be safe, because the CCP have unrestricted warfare, and they're really gonna go getting mad from internally, okay, to destroy American social order and the rule of law, and also election integrity as well. So thank you, Chris. Thank you, Flower. And let's continue expose the CCP and take down the CCP. Thank you. Take down the CCP.
Take down CCP. Thank you.
我深信川普总统会更加的会出冷手，会出快手灭共。大家
in the release of the records, which I'm afraid I think in the media or legacy media, there was kind of a willful blindness. They didn't want to look at the records. All you had to do was spend a couple of hours. I found these records, which are talking about blackmail by China. It was for President Biden's daily brief. I can conclude, I think, that it was probably about targeting his family. When that kind of information is not reaching a decision maker, ultimately the United States and the American people are the losers.
Right.
And I think that's what people need to be focused on.
Well, it's dangerous as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're not getting into it.
So this is wild. So in these documents she's holding right here, we're being told is information and evidence that the Biden family is being blackmailed by China. This is something that we all thought was happening, but now there seems to be proof. Now, we're not being told what the proof is, but she's saying that it is there, and I'm sure it will be released. So we can speculate a little bit. I found a clip that I shared a while back, and I think that we'll just revisit it right now. Here it is. And this is on CNN, and what they're saying right here is that the Biden family admitted in court that they were being paid off by Chinese companies. So I think it's worth listening to this after what we just listened to in that previous video.
And Kristen, Glenn Kessler from the Washington Post had a fact check about Joe Biden from earlier this month, noting that Hunter Biden admitted in court in July that he was in fact paid substantial sums from Chinese companies. Kessler wrote, Hunter Biden reported nearly $2.4 million in income in 2017 and $2.2 million in income in 2018, most of which came from Chinese or Ukrainian interests. But
So right there, let me just stop it right there. So right here, the Biden family is being paid millions year after year from China. I mean, it doesn't get any clearer than this.